Hey guys, it's Mrs. C here with Cycle 1, Week 6. Just want to take a minute and say thank you guys for all the prayers and well wishes that you sent me last week. My surgery went really well. I'm recovering the best I think I've ever recovered from surgery. So thank you so much for all of your comments and prayers. I really appreciated them. So anyway, on to Week 6. So we had kind of a crazy community day. It was February or something, so we had families dropping like flies. So I only ended up with 3 students in class, 2 of which were my boys. So class went a little different today, but we made it work and it was fine. I'll start off, we did geography just like normal. We went through and I started with Macedonia because it's up at the top, and then we worked our way down. So I went with Macedonia, then with Greece, then with the Aegean Sea, then Rhodes, and then Crete. And then we went back up and we just kind of went down and up and down and up to kind of get the order. I did talk about that we had to swim through the Aegean Sea to get to Rhodes because there weren't any roads to get to Rhodes. And then we had to, we couldn't take a road from Rhodes to Crete because Crete was an island too. So we talked about that a little bit if you want to incorporate that in. But yeah, my kids love their little finger puppet dinosaurs. And I'm finding with the Obesitarians that if it works, you just keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. So that's what we did for geography. Nothing too crazy and special there. For English, we have more prepositions. So for down, you're just going to kind of squat down. So we have down, and then during, you're just going to do this motion. During, except, for, this is for you, and from, and taking it from you, okay? So again, that's down, you kind of scrunch down. During, except, for, and from, okay? So that was for prepositions. We went over those a few times. We did, I only had one little girl, again, my 2 little boys, so she came up and helped me lead them because my boys were literally crawling under the table today. It was one of those days. So, so she came up and we just did them together several times. For science, this one lent itself really well to doing hand motions too as well, plus my little kids love it. So we have fish, and then we have amphibians, and for amphibians I let them get down and kind of hop around like frogs. If you don't have space in your class, or maybe you don't want everyone to be jumping around like frogs, you can just take your fingers and make them hop like frogs around. Reptiles, so we slithered you can't see that very well, sorry. We slithered like a snake, so the reptiles, and then we patted ourselves and said mammals, because we're a mammal, and then we had birds. So that was what we did for science. I said them, they repeated them, and then I let them do a motion, and we had to guess what was the, say what was the motion, guess what was the motion they were doing. So they each picked one, we did that, and then I did one, and I had to say what it was, and we did that a few times. So for Latin, we have our second declension noun endings again, which is the first part of Jingle Bells, Dashing Through the Snow. That's the tune of that if you're having trouble placing where that's from. So we used my voice cards that I have. Since we only had the 3 kids, I let everyone pick 2, and we just took turns doing the voice cards and singing through. And even though when you're singing through, you are saying them multiple times. So if you sing the whole song, you're doing it 3 times. So you only have to do the song twice to get it in, really pretty much your 7 times. But it doesn't take long to sing the song, and my kids really love the little chanty songs for the Latin, so we just sang it each time with whatever their voice card was. So for history, we did hand motions and sang the song. Yeah, sorry there's so many hand motions this week. This week just really lent itself all the hand motions, and again, my kids like the hand motions, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we had Homer, so we made the shape of a house for Homer. So we had Homer, a famous poet, and we pretend like we were writing poetry. And then we did Pythagoras, we made a triangle for Pythagoras. Pythagoras, a famous mathematician. We made a plus sign. Socrates, we pretended like we were putting on our socks for Socrates. Socrates, a famous philosopher. So again, this is the sign we've used in timeline. It is a P, which is like a peace sign, and you touch in your second knuckle and you rub it around your head like this. If that's too complicated for your kids, they can just do this, like their wheels in their head are turning. So a famous philosopher, and Archimedes, and we just made a big arc with our arms. A famous inventor, and we just pretended like we were putting stuff together, inventing stuff. Shaped Western, and we just kind of went over towards the Western ideas. And then we did ancient Greek. City-states were among the first democracies. So those were our hand motions that we did. We just sang through and did that a few times and did the hand motions. So it's kind of a weird song. Like, I don't associate country hoedown music with the Greeks, but you make it work, right? For math, we had our 11s and 12s, and we hadn't jumped for a few weeks. So that's what we did. We sang through, underlined, and jumped, and I just pointed to them up on the board as we sang through, and they picked a few. Since I only had the 3 of them, I let them come up and pick. Normally, if I have more kids, I don't let them pick because it takes way too long, and I just pick them. But since I only had the 3 today, I let them pick a couple, and we underlined a couple for each one of those and just jumped and sang the song. For timeline, that's all we have left. Timeline, we have India's Mauryan Empire. They were famous for their roads, so we're going to take 2 hands and we're going to make a road. So India's Mauryan Empire. And then we have the Mayans of Mesoamerica, and this is the sign that they use, but it's not an official ASL sign. But they were famous for, Henry, sorry, stay over there. You don't need me in here. They were famous for their big temples, so we're just going to kind of make a temple with our hands. India's Mauryan Empire, or Mayans of Mesoamerica, sorry. Punic Wars, we're going to make our P again. So it's P, so Punic. And then war is kind of going back and forth like this. You're fighting. Punic Wars. And then we have Rome. So we're going to make our R for Rome. Conquer, we're going to bring it down.
Conquer!
There you go. Thank you, Henry. And then Greece again is our G. And we're going to run it down our nose like their helmets that they wore that had the strip that went down their nose. So Rome conquers Greece. And then we have Roman Dictator, so we're going to salute because he was the leader. Roman Dictator, and we have J for Julius Caesar. So that's your pinky, and you're just kind of drawing a J with your pinky. Julius Caesar. And then we have Caesar, we're going to do this, sorry. I'm doing old signs. We're going to go from our shoulder down, like we're making a sash, like a leader would wear. Caesar Augustus and the Pax Romana. So this sign, you're putting your hands and rubbing it and going down, symbolizing serenity or peace, because the Pax Romana was a peace treaty. So Pax Romana, okay? And then we have John, so we're gonna make a J, and the sign for baptizing, so John the Baptist. You're gonna take your hands like this, and then you're just gonna go down and up with them. No, sorry, I can't see everything, bro. So John the Baptist, okay? And if you can keep your kids from singing Jesus the Messiah right after that, I applaud you, because mine always sing it, but that's kind of part of the fun of it. So anyway, that's all we did for today. Not really well. I will tell you that we played Sticker the Tutor for a review game, and it was super fun. I took a picture of myself, and I will try to post it in the Facebook group for you guys to see. They loved playing that, kept them fairly engaged, and it worked really well for this week. If you don't know how to play it, basically you have stickers, and every time they answer a question, they pick a sticker, and they can put it anywhere on the tutor they want. So naturally, my face was covered. And of course, my boys were coming up and trying to put it on my mouth and stickering my mouth shut, because they hear me talk all the time. So anyway, again, thank you guys for the prayers and the well wishes, and I will see you all next week. Congratulations, you are a quarter way through the year. Awesome, guys. Have a great week. Bye.